Hey guys, it's Steve. I've never really done a video actually with me in it, so I figure I'd do a informative Q&A type video to give you guys an idea like how I started, what I do, stuff like that. Simple Q&A. I originally got started. I've always drawn when I was a little kid and all that, but I'd say I pursued it more during college. And not for the fact that I was taking art in college, which I did. And it was more of a inspiration from an artist. I'm pretty sure you've all seen his work. His name is Black Gums, and he used to do all the artwork for all the mainstream bands, like the design tees of the character art and all that stuff. And I actually spent more of my time trying to replicate his style than actually doing classwork and all that stuff. Because during breaks or my computer time and all that stuff during college, I just waste all their paper, printing off all of his artwork, and just getting the idea and the concept of how he did it, and just the color palettes and all. It's just really interesting how he did it, and it is actually really cool. I mean, because I was always into art, and I just like that style of art. Like I said, his name was, I believe it's Brad Lambert, and he ran the website called Blue Monkey, and I mean that's originally where I started pursuing graphic design and art more than previous years of that. I remember I actually had the opportunity during one of our class projects in our art class that we each had to design a mural or a section of the wall that we had to draw on, and I ended up drawing like, it was a monkey, go figure, but it had banana, and it was like leaking something out of it. Well, after I was done with college, I went back there a couple years later, actually a few years later, because one of my articles in the magazine in Computer Arts was still on the wall from years ago, but it's still up there. But when I went down in that section where the hallway was, the only thing that was painted over was my drawing. I don't understand why, but I guess it's too graphic or just pissed somebody off. I don't know, but it wasn't classy enough for the class or that section of the hallway, whatever. No big deal, but I mean, I never finished college and whatever, you know, because when I went to college, I first of all, I went to the wrong college. They had a design program, and it really wasn't any benefit to me whatsoever, because when I went there, they just started it up, and the teacher that was teaching it wasn't even a graphic design teacher. She was actually the art teacher in another department, and the problem was she didn't know any more about the programs than we did at the time. So when you ask her a question, there would be no answer, you know. She's like, well, I haven't read that far into the chapter, and it's like, you know, I'm not paying thousands of dollars not to get my questions answered for simple things. And from that is when I started just to take matters in my own hands. I spent all my time outside of school learning what I could, because I originally started with Photoshop, and I just didn't like how, I mean, I was cool with doing the line artwork by hand, which, I mean, that's what I always did. I always drew with pencil, pen, and all that stuff. But I just like the cleanness of inking it digitally than with markers and all that stuff. So I originally started with Photoshop. And then I just got tired of how dirty the lines looked, and they just weren't clean and crisp. And that's when I switched over to Illustrator, which I had no clue what I was even doing. I didn't understand, like, the whole stroke and the path. Like, if you didn't close the path up or anything like that, then you have the gap over here. It was all just me learning myself, just trial and error. And I'd say I learned Illustrator to the point where I thought I was able to do it to where it benefited me, and not learning all like the main keys and shortcuts and all that stuff. But after a year, I mean, what I was doing was fine, but you just learn more as you go, and I just started learning more of the shortcuts and more of the options, you know, the Pathfinder and stuff like that. And it just sped things up really quick for me. And I enjoy Illustrator. I prefer over Photoshop more than ever now. And the only time I rarely ever touch Photoshop. The only time to do is maybe for a thumbnail for a YouTube video or something like that. But other than that, I don't even touch it anymore. But yeah, that's pretty much how I got into art and all that stuff. I mean, just as a kid, growing up, drawing, favorite cartoon characters, you know. Also, when you can't afford a Sega at the time when you're a kid, or a Nintendo, you just draw the characters. I mean, I don't want to make any video game references for ID tags from YouTube and all that stuff, but yeah, that's pretty much how I got into it. Just wanting to learn more and just to try to create something that's original that nobody else is creating. That's the whole point of it, and that's what I do today. I try to keep my work as original as possible. I understand you're always going to get referred to as another artist or something like that, but I mean, as long as you're indifferent from everybody else, that you create your own characters or designs, that's what's going to keep you separate from everybody else. That's all I can say about it. But moving on, my logo, I understand that it's got crossbones, which seems to be a typical thing these days in common in a lot of design artwork, but every part of my logo that's involved with it has an actual meaning to me. It's not some cut and paste logo that you see everywhere else. I mean, the reason for the spade was, as a kid, growing up, my grandparents owned a bar, and I'd always go there, hang out, play pool, stuff like that, and play poker machines. And you know, when your family gets together, we'd always have card games and all that stuff. And then I used to go to casinos with my grandparents and family, so that's pretty much where the spade came from. It's just the fact that it's the most common symbol in a deck of cards, and prominent, and that's just from, the spade is just from family orientation and just spend time with family, playing cards and stuff like that. The crossbones on the logo is from when I was probably in 7th grade. I got an abscess to the brain, and this from swimming, because I had a sinus infection, and every time I dove into the pool, I mean, I just dove in. I wasn't worried about covering my nose or anything like that. Well, it pushed the sinus infection into my brain and caused me to die, or well, flatline twice. So I had the defibrillators used on me twice. So the crossbones are more for like dying, you know, this symbolicness or whatever. And the horns on the spade are just for the fact that there's some type of evil in everybody, no matter what. You know, you can try to be as good as you can, but it's just there. And just the fact that the logo is simple and iconic, and that's what I actually liked about it the most. Because I used to have a couple different design type things, brands or whatever. I used to have one called Rotten Rabbit, is ROTTOM, which is where a lot of my original artwork came about, with just pen and ink and markers. And that's when I was actually using Photoshop a lot to color it. And I just got tired of it because my style changed. And then I bought a screen printing press around that time. I was printing shirts, but it just didn't look great, just for the fact the type of artwork it was. And so I ended up jumping on the bandwagon for distress tees, you know, like Affliction and all that stuff, which I never wore that stuff because I found no interest in it, because I thought it was just cliche clip art just pasted all over t-shirts with the distressed on it. So I never cared for it, but I figured, hey, everybody's buying the shit, so I'll just start a clothing brand with it, which that lasted about a year, because I just looked at it and it's just a trend, you know. It's just gonna die out and no one's gonna wear that crap anymore. Which, I mean, I'm not saying it's crap, but it's just that style didn't appeal to me. So after I did that, I just went full force into my own. I wanted my own style, so I mean, that's where I'm at right now. Simple, clean cut, cute, dark, whatever you want to call it. I mean, that's what I make. So I ended up taking a loan out and pick this press up right here. It's in, what is it? Hopkins 8-color, 4-color station, and then I got this 8-foot conveyor belt dryer back here. But like I said, I mean, lately I haven't been printing anything off. I've just been more or less designing stuff. And the problem with me doing this myself is the fact that it's 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 gratifying knowing that I'm actually, other than making the actual T-shirt, I mean sewing it and all that. It's just the gratification knowing that I'm actually designing it, I'm actually printing it, and I'll be shipping it out to you, so you know exactly where it's coming from. I mean, when it gets bigger, if it does get bigger, then I'll probably outsource it, because I won't be able to keep up, and I'll just do specialty items by myself. But it, I enjoy it. I mean, it's a pain sometimes because it's just a pain in the ass cleaning this thing and all the ink on it and stuff. But it's a learning process. You just have to. I put too much money into it to where it'd be pointless for me to throw it away, and that's where I'm at right now with this. And the fact, the thing is, when I do videos, for some reason I don't understand why I only have like 5 or 6 comments per video when I have like 2,000 subscribers or whatever. That doesn't really make any sense to me, but I understand that it gets boring watching the same videos over and over again of me drawing. But I mean, that's what I originally did. I mean, it wasn't to actually get out there and put stuff out for people. It's more of a video diary, I get a video journal, whatever, of me, my process of doing my artwork from the beginning when I first started doing it to where I'm at now. And I just wanted to progress and see how I could go. But then I started getting followers and stuff, and I mean, it's really cool. It's fun having people comment on your stuff and feeling the gratification that people are interested and they actually like looking at your stuff and seeing what's coming about in the future too. And I understand that I haven't really printed anything off in a while, but it's hard, like I said, trying to be the guy that does all the designing and the printing and all that, and actually having a full-time job where I work 12 hours a day, and that's not including the 4 hours of me getting ready, driving there and driving back. So I mean, it's almost like a 16 to 17 hour work day for me all the time. So that's why I don't get a lot of printing done. And people that say they don't have time to do something, I'm at least drawing and putting stuff on YouTube or online, whatever, for people to watch. If I can't do this, I'm drawing, just to have something, and to keep me motivated, keep on going, instead of just saying, well, 17-hour work day, man, I don't even want to do anything. I still do the extra work to keep it alive, because like I said, I put too much into this to let it die out, and that's why I keep on pushing. And that's where I'm at. Like I said, I appreciate people watching the videos and commenting. I understand. I mean, I used to get a lot of slack because there's no music in the videos, which, you can easily flip on your own MP3 player or whatever, unless you're on the phone. I understand you can't listen to it, but I monetize it because it's a little, if any, extra money that I get from it, and all it does is it goes all towards this, buying chemicals or paint or ink, or tape and all that stuff for the screens. I'm not like going out and blowing it on something stupid. I mean, this is what I do, or what I want to do. And like I said, I appreciate you guys watching this stuff. It actually means a lot. Recently I did a collab with a company that I designed for. It's Heebie Chibi Mascots. And I actually printed all the shirts off for the collaboration that we did. And they're only kids shirts, so I mean, not like you guys would buy them anyway. But it was actually really cool doing that, and by doing that, it did give me more motivation to push out more product, because I want stuff to be out there, and I'm not trying to start a clothing brand, or all I want to do is put my stuff on t-shirts and be known as Steve Bryant of Swiftyspade. This is his stuff, I understand it sounds like a brand, but I want it to be more of the artist perspective, like, this artist, designed this, and this is his clothing. I guess it will be a brand or a line or whatever, but that's not the intent of it. It's my art. I just want to get my stuff out there on shirts and stuff, I just want people to wear it. But I'm going to start, for just starting off, just doing black and white designs, me personally, I know not everybody likes that, but I just like the contrast between black and white. And plus I have an issue registering multicolors on this. Not because of the press itself, it just, I just get upset because I don't have the patience to do it. I understand it takes practice, but as of right now, I'm happy with the black and white. I make this stuff look badass black and white, I personally think. So screw it. You know, I mean, for right now, it's a temporary thing. But later on, yeah, I will add multicolor. But I'm only limited to so many colors I can do. So maybe I'll do 2 or 3 color designs later down the road. But as right now, when I start putting this out, it's black and white. And I'm just gonna run short runs of t-shirts too, because I don't have a lot of blanks in stock. I have like 96, which me personally, I don't know if it's all guys watching this stuff or if it's women too. So I mean, I got 12 of like small through extra large, 12 for guys and 12 for women. So I just gotta figure out what designs I want to put out, because I don't want to have a bunch of stuff sitting in the back going to waste. So as I said, hopefully soon, next month maybe, I'll start printing some stuff off and getting it out there to you guys if you're willing to buy it. That's all I gotta ask. But other than that, that's pretty much where I'm at. Like I said, it's just a full-time job that's 12-hour shifts all the time, and just trying to get this going. And the last couple months, I know it's kind of MIA with artwork and all that stuff and videos, because it's just normally between October and November at my job, it's hellacious and I really don't have time to do anything. But I'm back on the ball now, and I just want to keep it rolling. And hope you guys keep on following me and leaving comments and all that stuff. And if you guys get a chance, you know, click on the like and follow me on Facebook and all that other BS. Because, you know, it may not seem a lot to somebody by clicking or following, but it actually does, because it gives me more of a perspective on how many people are actually interested in my stuff to where I'd put it on t-shirts and that. Because I mean, the more likes, or you gotta see that standpoint from anybody running a business. I mean, the more feedback I get, the more I'll be more in tune of producing stuff faster and getting out. But right now, it's like I only have like 300 people on the Facebook. I'm not a social media whore or anything like that, but it's just like like I said, it gives me an idea of how many people actually watch all this stuff, you know. But then again, like I said, thanks for watching this stuff, and continuing watching and following. Have a good one.